Yeah, women dress up for each other, not to impress men. Science proves it. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts you should know about a very famous study from 1990. Number 1, in that study, researchers showed groups of participants, the same men and women, but dressed in different clothes. So it's like if you saw me in an Armani suit versus if you saw me in a Burger King uniform. And it turns out the women do not find me as attractive in the Burger King uniform as they do in the Armani suit. Number 2, what you should know though is that men do not follow this pattern. So when men saw these women, they viewed her as equally attractive in the Armani suit as they did in the Burger King uniform. Why is that? Well, number 3, men don't really care what a woman is wearing. They look at her physical attributes, whereas women look at what men do as signals. What they're wearing is often a signal of whether they are good providers, just for example. So when women dress up, it is often for reasons of what's called interest competition. It's to fend off other women and to prove essentially that they are beautiful to each other rather than to the men. If you're sick of the noise from influencers, you want to hear more about the science on this topic, follow me for more. I'll give it to you straight.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, right? Because you have, on the one hand, it's like you were saying that women, they're sending signals to the environment, right? And I know it sounds probably like, some sort of computer, but that's how a lot of women operate. They're sending signals to the environment. It can be both things. It can be dual purpose, where, say, if we walk into a restaurant and I walk in with a man, it depends on the environment. Like, say, we're walking into a steakhouse for Valentine's Day, where they're pretty much going to be coupled up. A woman might walk in there to say, look at us, look at the status of us, right? Not all women, but some women, those who are shallow like that, will say, look at the status of us, look at what we can afford. Depending on where you're sitting at, that will go into how they think that they look and their status. And that means, well, we've got, just as an example, the biggest table. We've got the nicest clothing. Did you see the car that we drove in on or drove in with? Did you see valet? Did you see the signals I made to valet? That signals that we know valet, and signals that we come here often, right? And so that once again goes back to our influence, who we are in the community, who we are as people. And it's going to make people look at you and say, who is that? Well, maybe we should know them. Maybe they're the it couple. If you're going in that situation, if you're going like more of a club or a bar or something like that, then it could be two things, right? It could be walking in and she might say, well, maybe she's single at that point, right? She walks into a club or a bar and she's trying to be the best dressed. So women can look to her and they be like, oh, who is that? Wow. Oh man, she's gorgeous. Wow, man, I gotta be like her. But then also she's wanting the attention and the validation from the men. It's like she's getting it from both sides, right? I feel like there's a third angle to it, but it's slipping my mind right now. But third angle could possibly be men or a certain man that she's looking for. Because I want the validation and attention from women and how they look at me as the hottest woman around. Then I'm going to get that attention and validation from men in general, saying that I'm also good looking, I'm also pretty, and it's going to act as a siren of sorts, like a calling, like a bad signal of sorts, to where they come in and they're, oh man, do you need a drink? It's kind of like those myths and legends and things of that nature of Queen Cleopatra, where, oh man, she's so beautiful. She's just the most beautiful in all the land, like Marilyn Monroe. Oh, all the guys got to have her. Oh, she's smitten. I can get somebody like the president. That would be the third angle right there. So not only am I getting the attention of the men, the money that's flowing into me, I am the main attraction. I also get the guy that I want, the exact man that I'm looking for. I get him. So like I said, Marilyn Monroe going for JFK, flirting right in front of everybody's faces, even though Jackie's around there. I don't care. It's signaling to you that I look good. I'm undeniably beautiful. I have that feminine charm, that feminine effect. And how can he withstand that? How can any one of you withstand that? So no, I don't believe that women only dress up for themselves, but I do believe it's part of the reason that they dress how they dress.
Hey ladies, here are some examples to show you why so many good husbands say they don't get respect in their marriage. On your job, the leader tells you what time to be at work and what time you leave, and you abide by it. But when your husband tells you what time he wants to leave, you're never on time, frustrating him and taking away his peace. How can you be on time for your work, but not on time for your husband? When your supervisor is talking, you are not interrupting him as he speaks. You wait and you listen. But at home, when your husband talks, you're always interrupting him. When you disagree with the leader on your job, you're not raising your voice and clapping your hands and following him around the office, forcing him to listen to you. But when it comes to the leader of your home, you do the total opposite. If there is a dress code to what you can and cannot wear at work, you follow it and will even go shopping to obey it. Yet you won't dress for your husband and go to the gym and look the way he wants you to look. I could go on and on. But here's the problem, ladies. You're acting right and putting on your best behavior for money and the manager on your job, but then come home and refuse to do it for the one that you say that you love. You are not his mother. You are not his mentor. You are not his manager. You are the one that's supposed to be his helpmeet and his peace. If your husband could rewind time and do it all over again, would he pick you or would he avoid you based on how you treat him? Ephesians 5:33 says that a man should love his wife and a wife should learn to respect her husband. So change what you need to change so you can be the best wife that you can be. Hit the follow button for more.
I go to FSU and my friend who's in a long distance relationship cheated on her boyfriend. Can you call her pretending to be friends with her boyfriend and tell her that you know she cheated? Is this Kayla?
Yeah, who is this?
Kayla, you go to FSU, right?
Yeah.
Were you at a Halloween party the other weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are you?
My name's Jackson. You went with Alex, right? He's one of my boys.
Yeah.
And then,
You're
like
his friends?
Yeah, I'm Alex's friend. You went home with Alex after, right? In his white BMW?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because, Kayla, I actually made that whole story up. I'm not actually Alex's friend. I'm Gabe's friend. You know, your boyfriend. The guy you've been dating for 3 years. Did you think about him while you walked into that Halloween party dressed as Starfire with your little Nightwing boy toy, huh?
Yeah, that's just like my friend. I just wanted to be Starfire, and he like...
So then why weren't you picking up your boyfriend's calls that night? You've been dating Gabe for 3 years and you threw it all away. You threw out 3 years of a happy relationship with you and Gabe just to be with some dude named Alex for one night at a Halloween party. Why would you do that, Kayla?
I don't remember anything. You're making this up.
You didn't cheat on Gabe?
No.
Well then why did you go home with Alex in his BMW? Because he was taking you home.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who I am. All that matters is Gabe still thinks you love him, and Gabe still thinks that you guys are in a loving relationship, which you obviously are not. Do you want me to be the one to tell Gabe about what you did on Halloween, or do you want to be the one?
I'm not gonna tell him anything because...
You're not gonna... Okay, so great, I'll tell him. I'll tell him, it's fine. And he can be the one to break up with you and dump you. I'm Gabe's friend, and I go to FSU too, and I saw you. I got all the info. I know who you are. I haven't told Gabe yet because I don't know how to tell him, but I will tell him if you don't confess.
He was just taking me home and we're friends.
He was just taking you home and you were friends. Then why were you guys hugging up all in each other, taking pictures of each other, and dressed up as superheroes who are in some intimate relationship?
It was cute.
Because it was cute. Then why didn't you pick up your boyfriend's phone that night?
I don't know. I don't remember anything.
Kayla, I can call Gabe right now, but I don't think you want that, do you?
No, I don't. I'm gonna text him myself.
Oh, go text him yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Give him your side of the story, and I'll tell him right after what really happened. If you don't want me to tell Gabe what really happened, here's what you gotta do. You need to call Gabe up. You need to tell Gabe that you cheated on him on Halloween with a dude named Alex, and then you need to break up with him because he's never gonna see your guts after he hears what really happened.
I'm not gonna break up with him.
Okay, then he's gonna break up with you after I tell him everything.
You're not gonna tell him anything because I didn't do anything.
So getting in a car with some dude at a Halloween party and going home with it, by the way, he didn't drop you off at your house. Okay, I know what dorm you live in. You went to his house. So are you going to keep doing this, or are you going to tell your boyfriend you cheated, okay? This relationship needs to end because I, for one, am not going to let it continue. So I'm going to call Gabe in the morning, and I'm going to ask him if anything's up. If I hear from Gabe that you didn't apologize and you didn't break up with him, then I'm going to be the one to personally tell him. And trust me, I'll give him all the juicy details. I got everything. Kayla, I got pictures, okay?
Hey, which dish soap for the dishwasher? They both say dish soap. I just want to make sure I don't put the wrong one in there.
You're joking, right?
Well, I mean, I think it's this one, but I don't want to put the wrong one in.
Yeah, it's this one that,
Okay.
you literally never do dishes, obviously, then. Hey, what's this light coming on my dashboard?
Oh, just means it's time to change the oil.
Okay, so do we need to bring the car in?
No, babe, I got it. I always change the oil in our cars. You don't need to worry about it.
Oh.
Hey, can we dry jackets like this regular, or do you have to hang
I don't know.
dry?
Why don't you read the tag?
Well, I just know you've done a lot of these, so I was just wondering.
Okay, look at the tag. That's what I do.
Okay, gosh. Hey, what are you doing in here?
I'm looking for a drill bit.
For
I'm trying
what?
to put together this piece of furniture. I do not know.
Piece of furniture.
what I'm
Hey,
doing.
it's okay. Hey, I got it. Why don't you just come to me? I'll do it for you.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Let me
I
show
got
you.
it.
I found that. I absolutely love that. And there is a double standard in a lot of marriages where a husband isn't great at something in the home and it's been weaponized about his incompetence. But then oftentimes the wife who is incompetent about something else that he's great at, and oftentimes men, most of the time, is more of compassion. Hey, I got this. Don't worry, but you don't have to worry about that. And so, ladies, I am speaking to you out there that, yeah, there's things that you're better than your man. There's things that he's better than you. Why can't we both have just grace and mercy in the midst of learning and teaching, or even just go, I got this for you. I love that. Let's work on that area in our marriage.
My last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not going to sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for. And I think that's fair.
Here's context. She thought he was asleep, so she snuck out the front door to cheat on him in his own truck. To make things worse, she had zero remorse. Did I mention she's wearing a dog leash?
Stop recording me. Yeah, stop.
Really?
Stop recording me.
Really? In front of the house?
Stop recording
Don't worry, I'm gonna unlock it. In front of the... Hide your face, bro. Hide your face. Really? In front of the house?
Bye.
In front of the house.
Okay, bye.
In front of the house.
Okay, bye.
The only day I wake up early, this is what you're doing out here?
Okay, bye.
6 a.m. in the morning, they are here. In front of the house.
Bye.
In front of the house, bro.
Bye.
Can I have my shirt?
Bye.
You gotta... Bro. In front of the house.
Okay, bye.
In my truck.
Bye.
Bro, how long you been talking to her, bro?
Just a couple weeks.
She didn't tell you about me? Bro, right in front of my fucking house?
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Guys, when guys ask me what I bring to the table, ew.
What do you bring to the table?
I am the table.
What do you bring to the table?
I bring good vagine.
That's all you bring to the table?
Yep.
That's it? You don't feel like you need to bring anything else?
Nope, not for you.
Have you ever been dumped before?
No.
First, you lied, right? Then you lied about lying, okay? Then you lied about lying about lying, okay? So before you lie about lying about lying about lying about lying, stop lying.
If men's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would crumble. If women's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would be fine.
Oh, really? Who's going to raise all the children?
Women aren't even raising their own kids. They're in daycare.
That's actually
They're
incorrect.
in daycare and public school.
No.
It's $1 billion industry.
It is $1 billion industry,
Yeah.
but statistically, women have the majority of childcare burden, and not a lot of people can afford daycare nowadays.
Well, who is the kid spending the most time with if the mom's at work? Most mothers work nowadays. So the kid is spending more time at school or at daycare.
Word of advice for you girls. If you have a chance to some guy while you're married, go with him. You know what? Beat your husband to the punch. Go with that man.
I have an even better idea. If you're the type of person that actually considers that video to be good advice, do the entire world a favor and don't get into a relationship, because you're obviously not emotionally mature enough to be in one.
They rather change partners than change themselves.
Wow.
You need to be a good forgiver. If you are a bad forgiver, marriage is going to be hard for you. If you keep records of wrong, marriage is going to be hard for you. One of the hardest parts of marriage, I think, is they know all of your flaws. I know everything toxic about you, and you know everything toxic about me, and I'm calling you out right now. And I can't say, girl, but you did this. You're right, babe.
Women don't know that to conceal is the default for men. Conceal anything that can be used against you. and we want you to open up and tell me about your feelings and your emotions, and I will use them against you. I'll start by revealing it to my friends, all the special deep things you told me, not knowing that that's a betrayal. But I'll tell them about it because then they'll know how important I am to you.
I think if most men are honest and they were dating a woman and that woman would be loyal to them and love them and nothing would change, and that woman was okay with him seeing other women, he would do it.
So you just want your cake and eat it too?
I think sleeping around, high body counts, promiscuity, I think it's bad on the individual level, and I think it's really bad on the societal level. Like, it's bad for society. Although I think it's a bit worse in women, to be honest. But like, in terms of the acceptability of like a man having multiple women and you still being exclusive to him, I think we've seen this as a phenomenon that is more common like in history than the reverse.
It's like frowned upon if it's the reverse.
Well, I think part of it has to do with the children. So, for example, prior to the 1980s when DNA testing became a thing, if I had 10 wives, we know who the father is for all the children. If a woman has 10 husbands, who the is the father? Okay, you're married to a woman, she's cheating, she gets pregnant by the other guy. That's one of the biggest L's a guy can take, is thinking the kid is his, thinking that's his lineage, and pouring resources into a kid who isn't yours. Biggest L a guy can take. Women can never experience that, because if you get pregnant, you know the kid's yours. So I think men are just way more invested in female loyalty than the reverse. So I think that's why female promiscuity and female disloyalty is more negatively appraised.
Well, like you said, when you're talking about loyalty, you throw your resources out there. And so, like you said, your resources are going to waste. And a lot of men are like, man, I've worked hard. I've sweated. I've bled. I've sacrificed. I've risked for this. And if I'm just having my resource given just willy-nilly to everyone, then that's not a good investment for me.
This lady wrote, "First, I know I am a horrible, disgusting person for this. My boyfriend and I have been seeing each other for around 6 months. He has always been the strong, silent type, and it's honestly what attracted me to him. He has been my emotional rock and looked after me, and I loved feeling protected and like I had someone so manly and solid. This all started when for the 100th time, he came home from work and just seemed upset. Usually I ask him what's wrong and he says nothing, and I say he can always open up. Well, the other night, for the first time, he cracked. He started to get emotional about his job and how he feels like he isn't doing enough in life, and how he worries something is wrong with him medically. He's on depressants and he doesn't think his medication is helping. I was completely shocked seeing him like this, and I began to comfort him, and it seemed like he was on the verge of tears. I held him, but as he got up to go and shower, he went for a kiss and I just leant back. This is going to sound horrible, but seeing him vulnerable and emotional completely repulsed me. I know it's wrong and I'm wrong and horrible, but seeing him in a moment of weakness made me just see him as not a man and was a turn off romantically. And talking to a few other women, this is apparently not uncommon. I'm disgusted that I feel this way because my boyfriend doesn't deserve this, blah, 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 blah. That's why I said about women providing space, or this sense of you meet someone and you feel as a man, you feel you're safe, but are you ever truly really safe?
And they are the women that they're supposed to be. Where are they to find the good men?
Well, with respect, I would have to disagree that women aren't supposed to find men. That's actually very masculine to go out on the hunt. I think the question is, where can these women be found? And this is going to hurt, but ladies, if you feel invisible to these type of men, it's because they have seen something in you that disqualifies you.
You know what? Hold on a second. I can't tell you how often it is that, and I agree with you, that it's really not about them trying to find him. It's that if they're around, if they're available, they've already seen enough to let them know you ain't the one.
So men are always scanning, men are always hunting. And ladies, when you stand out for the right reasons, it's not long before men are like, she got a man? Is she spoken for? You know, whose girl is that? That's just how men are.
Yes.
So you don't really have to do anything to get their attention. Of course, be pleasant, speak, make eye contact, all of the cordial things that we talk about. But I hate to say it, but the good ones, we don't stay single for long. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I think, again, it's so out of order where women think I can do whatever I want to do for as long as I want to do it. And when I see him, oh yeah, let me get all cleaned up and prettied up and, lower my voice. And now he's really, he hasn't seen the likes of me yet. It's too late. He's already seen you. Because the other thing women misunderstand about men don't just run in head first. As women, we are impulsive. We are chaotic. We are emotional. If we feel it, we're going to act on it. If we think it, we're going to say it. Men have learned that type of action could cost them their life. So men always wait and observe, and they are watching for consistency. He's going to watch for a while and see how you continually show up. You got to get over your ego and your pride and realize men do the asking.
Yeah.
So they're the ones looking.
Yeah. And it's crazy. And ladies, you got to think about it. If you're not getting the outcomes you want and your girlfriends are co-signing everything and saying, you go girl, and I love that outfit and this and that, they're not really your friends. You spend so much time being influenced by all these other women who don't even have the outcomes you want. It's the men that have the ring. It's the men that you actually want to be in a relationship with and want to have children with. And you're focused on what your girlfriends are thinking.
Honey, listen, are you kidding me? Are you friggin' kidding me with this?
On today's episode of Why I Hate My Husband, this weekend we went to London for a hockey tournament. So much fun, exhausting. The kids had a great time. We get home yesterday. I immediately start unpacking the bags. I sort the laundry. I start the laundry. I then go do groceries. I then come home and I make dinner. I then do bath time and movie time with the kids. Do you want to know what my husband did? Laid in bed. The whole time.
What is wrong with this guy? Listen, I don't know what's going on in your house, but any man that's going to allow his wife to go on the internet and publicly make videos like, oh, this is why I hate him. I don't care if you're being sarcastic. You're also, oh, he didn't do this. Oh, he didn't do that. Oh, I did this. Oh, he didn't. I mean, is this guy like what the hell is wrong with him?
Many women belittle their husbands without even knowing. Now, belittling your husband does not start with you sizing your husband, rolling your eyes at him, saying whatever, or ignoring him when he calls you, or embarrassing him in front of people. That's not where it all starts. It all starts in the heart. When you dishonor a man, it is evident in how you speak to him and how you carry yourself around him, because those actions are coming from your heart. The Lord Jesus says something profound. He says, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far away from me. And the Lord Jesus was talking about people who are performative. When you see a woman who is kneeling on the floor, lying on the floor, serving her husband with a tray and all of those things, calling him by his clan name, that is not performative honor. If you don't catch the revelation that those are actions to display the deep honor that is already within the heart of the woman, then you will try these things, but they will not be sustainable. All it will take is one misunderstanding, and that dishonor, that belittling that has always been in your heart will be displayed. And in that very instance, that man will know that you have never honored him. Everything you were doing was more of performative. So as a woman, you do not cultivate actions of honor. Rather, you cultivate a heart of honor towards your husband. And that is the only way that your speech, your actions, and everything you do will communicate honor and respect to your husband. So it doesn't start with actions. It always starts with your heart posture towards your husband.
Women and politics. I'm going to explain how they work together using this empty container of chamomile bath salts that came with this gay little spoon. Adorable. So first of all, I just bought a house. Here's my YouTube award on the wall. I can't show you the house because someone will geolocate it, but I just got the floor done. My real estate lady got me a welcome package including a Second Amendment plaque and some coasters and some bath salts with this ridiculous little spoon that would never work. I want you to focus on the spoon. A spoon is a thing with a purpose. This spoon is for cooking, this spoon is for eating, and this spoon is for absolutely nothing. Why would anybody want to buy this or manufacture it? Look how ridiculous this is. This is just not an effective way of getting things done. There's not much happening here at all, and there's no way I could get to the bottom of the jar. This is a useless version of a normal thing. Just like a baby is a useless version of a human. It's all tiny and it doesn't do anything, just like this, and that's why women love them. Basically, the farther you go in this direction, the more it activates the mommy instinct. She doesn't want to see this on a dating app. Kindergarten mommy consciousness explains almost everything about women in politics. It all makes sense if you assume that they are maximizing for the number of babies to be taken care of. And that's probably one of the reasons that my real estate lady selected this. It's a baby spoon. It can't do anything by itself. It needs love. That's what I've been referring to as deserving, using this arrow. The way that works is how, like, men have to go fight with God, they have to go fight with nature to make buildings and food and stuff, and then women just deserve it, and that would be this blue arrow here, and then the red arrow is men providing it to them, and then of course children deserve the most because they're useless like this thing. Well, remember, deserving is something that women tend to naturally do. They tend to just deserve all of this stuff, and then you get me, and when women don't have babies, they start making them out of everything. And the amount that you are a baby is the amount that you are small and helpless, and nobody is more helpless than women who can be victimized by greeting cards, and minorities who are actually 93% of the population. So now you understand. You have nothing because the government took it away and gave it to everyone else because women vote for deserving. So women deserve and babies deserve, and if there aren't enough babies, we'll just make some out of whatever we can find. And you are the baby that has too much and needs to share, even if you actually have nothing. And that's women and politics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also don't forget I sell posters of my charts and digital copies you can print out at home. I have merchandise on TeePublic, bags and shirts and mugs and stuff. This one's full of peanut butter. I designed my own AI life coaching system called Selfmax.ai. I use it myself. And if you support me on YouTube or Patreon, you can come meet me on Discord. I have a private chat room and monthly meetings for members. All of this and more is available in the links in the video description.
Dang, that's good. That's good. You saw all of his links there at the end of the video. Wow. I'm impressed. He's a smart guy, man. It's what these modern women are up to. Not really voting or really doing anything on principle, like what should be. It's on feelings, how I feel it should be. I mean, I guess to be fair, that's how a lot of people vote, is based on how they feel, based on an opinion of something, right? But I think for some people in society, it's strictly off feeling. Some people will at least attempt to verify, seriously, like literally verify what they're talking about to see if it's true. Modern women don't need that. They just need to know if the feeling is powerful enough. Can you make me buzz enough? Can you make me vibe enough? Can you make me go deep down into my feels enough?
My point is, if she makes the decision to leave, she should pay for it. If you want to leave, that's totally fine, but you should pay to raise your kid.
Is it not his child as well?
And he should pay for the time. That's why I said 50-50 custody off the bat, no child support, no alimony.
So she gets to take on all of the child care responsibilities, but he doesn't have to pay anything. He doesn't have to have any buy-in.
I didn't say all, I said 50-50 custody. He should have the kid half the time.
But doesn't have to pay any money towards it.
No, he should pay for the kid when the kid's at his house.
Okay, and so the majority of the time when the kid is at the mother's house, he doesn't have to be involved in any way financially?
No, she should pay for it. She has a job. Why should he have to pay for a kid?
He should support it.
If she chose to have the kid and she chooses divorce, why should she not have to pay for her own decision? That's the thing. See, there it is. You want all the freedom to do whatever you want.
Are you an adult?
Yes.
I feel like you just lied to me, but I'll ask you the question anyway. Why do we give women the right to vote?
Why do we give? Okay. Well, first off, nobody on this earth would be alive if it weren't for women. So basically, nobody would be able to vote.
Well, the same is true for men. The same would be true for men.
No, men wouldn't happen if there was no women.
So if there were no men, how would babies get made? It takes two people to make a baby. It takes a man and a woman. So if there weren't men, there wouldn't be people either. But anyway, the question was, why should women be allowed to vote? That was the question.
Because women should be equal to men. They should have the same jobs. They should be treated the same. And just because they look different and act different and have different parts doesn't mean you should be treated different.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because we're all human beings.
Yeah, but so is a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So a human being isn't enough to be able to vote. It's not a qualifier, right? So like, what are the legitimate qualifiers? Because right now it's be a man or a woman, be a citizen, don't be a felon in some cases, and be 18. That's basically it.
Yeah. So the women do have the right to vote.
I understand that they have. I'm asking, why ought they? Why is it morally good? Let's say.
Because we should all have the same rights.
Right, but why?
Because we're all human.
Well, you've said that already, and that's already not an adequate qualifier. Why beyond just being human? Because murderers and rapists and babies are all human, and they can't vote. So
yeah, but that's not, like, if I was president, I would let anybody vote as long as they're over 18.
Okay. But why?
Because I believe that we should treat everybody the same.
Of course you don't believe that.
I believe that.
You think we should treat everybody the same?
Yes, I do.
So you think I should treat a 2-year-old girl the same as a 40-year-old man?
I mean, why not?
Because a 2-year-old can't understand English very well. That's a start.
That's a 2-year-old problem, not my problem.
It's a 2-year-old problem, but it means I shouldn't speak to a 2-year-old or treat them the same way.
Then don't.
Well, I don't.
This is common sense, bro. How do you not know this?
You're telling me it's common sense, but you just said you should treat everyone the same. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
and if you don't want to treat somebody the same, then don't treat somebody the same.
This is actually the worst one all night, and I've been threatened by physical violence. This is really bad. This is bad. I don't even know where to go from here.
Thank you so much. I bet you support Trump. I think that's what it is.
Disconnect from her, bro. She not talking about nothing. Disconnect from her, seriously.
Just imagine being in a household and the person that's in elementary school is the one with the most sense. Few discretions advised.
Grandma don't got grandpa anymore, and you don't got my dad anymore, and then she has kids, and then you have a kid. You have a lot in common.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, could you point me in the direction of the humor? Because the little man just dropped a gem that you didn't even know you needed. And instead of taking that seriously, you find humor in it. At his young age, he's noticing how up his family is. And instead of doing something about it, you laugh. This is why your family tree has those quote-unquote generational curses. Matter of fact, it is not a curse. These are active decisions that you and your elders decided to make. And you laughing at the unfortunate circumstances that the young boy just told you about lets me know you don't take it serious, and that's exactly why you are in the position that you're in. Y'all prioritize everything except putting those kids in the best position possible to further their development. And that young man at his little age is looking around and noticing a pattern and saying, wait a minute, something ain't adding up here. There should be no reason why y'all are practically in the same exact position. But instead of allowing that to be a wake-up call, you find it humorous. Some of y'all do not deserve to be parents because y'all do not prioritize your kids' development the right way. And you don't think a kid at that age with that line of thinking is a problem because that's what you came from. You actively can look around in your family tree and see that you guys are not progressing properly. And instead of doing something, at least trying to do something, you laugh at the situation that is clearly holding y'all back. And the only that notices is a problem is the youngest in the room. You can't make this up. Wow. Your elders did you a disservice and stunted your growth, so in turn you think it's only right that you stunt his. The abused becomes the abuser, and I don't think he's going to stand for that. I hope that young man grows up and does wonderful things with his life and breaks free from the generational curses that the people before him put in place. Because there should be no reason why at his young age this is where his mind is. He should be worried about all kind of others. But you know what? I know you ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
And that's a video you need to send to your therapist. That's a video you need to send to your therapist. Because that little man just dropped knowledge on you. And I know it's funny now, but that's something that you actually need to unpack before it gets out of hand.
You said men should pay on first dates, men should be chivalrous. You said you want to keep your last name or hyphenate in marriage?
I would say I'd keep my last name, probably.
I don't know if it's different in Russia culturally. Like, do women keep their last names?
No, we don't. I mean, we're not.
So you're just like a feminist, modern
My
woman.
mom-
I think in society, what we see happening frequently is you have a lot of women who want the benefits of traditional chivalrous culture or treatment, but you guys don't want to do anything traditional. So men should be traditional, women should be modern. The man should provide, the man should protect, the man should pay for dates, the man should be chivalrous, the man should do XYZ, but I don't do anything. I won't take his last name. I won't be submissive. I'll wear the pants. I'll call the shots. It seems like a raw deal for men.
Today we have If Only He Knew. And a lot of you out there probably already know the game on this, but for those that don't, I'm just here to do my job and educate you on the things that you need to know to get through life. This is every guy's biggest fear. There is nothing worse than being on the wrong end of an if only he knew, right? So what is if only he knew? This is when, say you're talking to a woman and she's been with a lot of men in the past. All of those other men are now looking at you in your relationship and saying, oh, if only he knew. If only he knew what she'd done. You don't want to be on the wrong end of that. There is nothing worse than having a whole bunch of other guys looking at you saying, damn, brother, if only that knew. This is why your body count matters, ladies. A bad if only he knew, that could ruin your relationship. That could ruin a marriage. The lower the body count, the lower the possibility of too many if only he knows being out there in the world. You understand? You've heard all these sayings. One man's trash is another man's treasure. What took one man 2 hours took another 2 months. So the moral of the story here is your past matters. Your body count matters. If you take that into account and you value it, you're going to find a great relationship someday. Because you're going to give your man the peace of mind knowing that there's not a lot of if only he knows out there. Because if your man gets hit with one of these, you don't even know what could happen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today, and I'll see you at the same time again tomorrow.
Okay. Let me say this gently, but honestly. Your husband does not want to feel like he is asking for crumbs of affection in his own marriage. He does not want to initiate every single time. He doesn't want to feel rejected, annoying, or needy for wanting closeness with his own wife. And over time, when he keeps getting shut down, he just stops asking. Not because he stopped wanting you, but because it hurts too much. Physical connection is not just about intimacy. For a lot of men, it is how they feel loved, chosen, and still wanted. When you touch him first, reach for him, flirt with him, you are letting him know, I still want you, I desire you. You still matter to me. And no, this isn't about pressure. It is about being intentional. Your marriage shouldn't be the one place that your husband feels unwanted. So touch your husband before the resentment grows, before distance becomes normal, before silence replaces connection. Stop making the man you chose feel like he has to beg to be desired.
Okay, but if the argument is if we give poor people housing and healthcare and food and the basic needs to survive, they won't have any incentive to work anymore if their basic needs are met.
I'm going to continue to buy my luxury bags while the government pay my rent. I'm going to continue to go on trips and do the things that me and my kids love to do while y'all struggle to pay for a grocery bill and I'm swiping my EBT card.
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well.
Now y'all gonna be upset. See, that's what I'm saying. Doing all that talking, you're gonna be upset if the government call or if your local state government calls and said, hey, seemed like somebody sent me a social media post about you saying you're gonna buy this and you're gonna buy that. And so for that reason, we're gonna have to revoke your assistance. Or you might not even get that phone call. You get a letter in the mail. Hey, your assistance has been reduced, or your assistance has been disabled or discontinued. Then all of a sudden you're upset, you're mad, you're crying, you're snotting all over the concrete, crawling up to the assistant's office, but it'll be your own doing because you're online flaunting stuff and you knew you didn't actually need it. That'll be your own fault.
Eve's downfall was desiring to be wise like God instead of Adam. Many wives forget that they were never created to be the glory of God. Instead, the wife was created to be the glory of her husband. This means the wife ought to be in speech, conduct, and appearance bear the image of her husband. When people look at the wife, they ought to see the reflection of her husband. Okay. God never instructed wives to directly submit to him. Instead, the wife submits to God via submitting to her husband, meaning that the husband is the wife's head and the wife cannot bypass the headship of the husband, claiming things like, God said I should do this, God said I should go there, God said I should start this. If you don't have your husband's approval, although you might have had a dream, although you had a vision and you're so convicted that this is what God wants you to do, according to the law of marriage, when it comes to divine order in marriage, you are not allowed to bypass the headship of your husband. As long as your husband did not give you a go-ahead, whether it was said by God or it was said by an angel, according to God, as long as your husband did not agree to you doing something and you choose to do it in the name of God said, you are walking in rebellion. And this is one of the things that frustrates a lot of people's marriages. Wives don't understand what it means to be submitted to the husband. They think that they can still, do things like they are single, as if like they have no one that is covering them. So wives always have to remember this crucial part. You always have to desire to be like your husband as he is like Christ. Don't be like Eve, who chose to eat the fruit so that she can be wise like God instead of being like her husband, who was already created in the image of God.
Without getting into a theological debate, I like her point in general. There are a lot of modern women who try to bypass what their husband is asking them to do, or the direction that their husband is saying that they're going to go. Now I can see if it's something that's immoral or if it goes against the law of God, like the law of the Bible. Well, then obviously don't do it. But if it's, something just day to day, hey, we're gonna move over here, or we're gonna do this, well, maybe not day to day, but hey, we're gonna move over here, we're gonna do this, and this. He's not putting his hands on you. He's not treating you incorrectly. This is what a lot of modern women have to understand, is this is what you signed up for. Okay. You signed up to be under the shield, under the protection of a person, right? You're saying, if you give me this, then I'll do this, and this. But you're securing what you need from your side. And he's doing the same. And he's saying, okay, well, really, if I got to get to this level and do X, Y, and Z for you, well, then you got to do X, Y, and Z for me. And you're saying, I love you that much. That's a stretch for me, but I love you that much that I will commit to that. So each person is essentially saying when they're getting married, I love you that much that I will commit to doing that, or I will try very, very hard to do it, right? It's difficult for me. And sometimes in a marriage, there's some things that you be trying to do for years and years and years, and you improve at it, but you're never perfect, right? Because it's just who you are. And your significant other has really asked you to do something that is next to impossible for you. But because I love you, I'm trying to stick it out, and I'm trying to do it, and I'm trying to improve on it. And I'm nowhere near what I used to be. And the appreciation for that should come in from either spouse, whoever you're married to. They should say, yeah, well, she's doing her best, or he's doing his best. And I have to appreciate that. But when you go and start usurping and saying, well, you know, this is not what I want to do. And God told me I didn't have to do it. Right. And you know you're dead wrong. I think that's the point that she's making.
Why are there so many dads present at school drop-off? Like, what dad is able to come pick their kid up at 2:30 in the afternoon? Do you work?
Yeah, we work. We're also active participants in our children's lives. Speaking personally, I'm a firefighter. My shifts are 24 hours on and 48 hours off. So every one day I work, I get 2 days off. And on those days off, while my wife goes to work, I'm home to be able to take my kids to school and able to pick them up from school and be an active parent, because that's what fathers do. I know the media and the propaganda will have you believe otherwise, but no, we actually like being out here, being dads and being active in our kids' lives. I know that might be a foreign concept to you, but it is what it is.
If he says delete it, it's deleted. If he says block him, he's blocked. No debate, no discussion, no delay. Great debaters never made great wives. You're not here to argue. You said do what? It's already done. That's why I created a solution at the end. Because when you're in a real relationship built on trust, boundaries aren't seen as control. They're seen as protection. You shouldn't be worried about what others think. You should be worried about preserving the peace in my home. If it makes him uncomfortable, why would I defend it? Loyalty isn't just about what you do when he's watching. It's about how you carry his name, how you guard his heart, how you move like a woman who values her man. Submission isn't weakness. It's security and love. It's peace in your femininity. And when he leads with respect, you follow with trust. Because love without respect becomes resentment, and leadership without loyalty creates distance. A wife's obedience in goodness is an act of love, not fear. And a husband's responsibility is to lead with mercy. Couples who use our guides don't argue over boundaries. They protect them together. Comment, reset, and I'll send them to you.